Hello everyone, my name is Elizabeth and this is totally a video that it's not book related, but somehow it's book related, and it is in English most importantly, because someone from Tumblr, an anon, I don't know who, asked me if I could do a video opinion about role-playing and role-players, and if I was familiar with those terms. And actually I am familiar with those terms because I've been role-playing since I was 16, so for me it's kind of normal to roleplay. I started roleplaying because I wanted to improve my writing, and that's my opinion when it comes to roleplays actually. Because, for example, if you want to be a writer, if you want to know how to develop better a character, or how to just write spontaneously with another person who has a character and that person is carrying and writing that character's story and you're writing only your character's story, it's really good for you to improve as a writer. Because I think that, for example, when I started writing, I wrote things too quickly, I made things happen too quickly. So for example, now I'm writing a novel and I'm on chapter 9 and nothing much has happened in the story, so it's practically one quarter of the story. And I think that fact that now I have only one quarter of the story with 9 chapters, for example, is the fact that I roleplayed. So I learned how to develop characters, how to develop new plots, starting from the basic plot that is your character's story. You can only roleplay, write or do things that your character would do. So you cannot do what it's called in Tumblr, it's called the good modding, which is that you cannot write the actions that another character would do. So you only have control over your own character. That's very important in role-playing, and I think that's one thing that you have to follow in order to accomplish this thing of improving as a writer. I started role-playing, and for example, the theme of roleplays, you can have roleplays in all social platforms, all social networks. So for example, you can have roleplays on Twitter, on Facebook, in Spain there's a platform called 20. Also you can have it in Ask and in Tumblr or in forums. So, and I started role-playing in forums, which is you create an account with your character's name and you put an avatar profile picture and you write in a post in a specific part of the forum your character's file. Then you decide its story, well, his or her story, his or her personality, age, name and all that, and from there there are several sections, to call it somehow, that, for example, one is the city, one is your house, one is the school. And if one of your plots is going to happen in the school, you can open a topic, I think it's called in English. So you can open like a post, you write your side of the story, always talking with the person that you know you're going to roleplay with. And if you want anyone to answer that post, you can say that it's open and anyone or the first one that comes will answer to it. So it's very freestyle writing, because you only have like your control for your character, as I mentioned before, and you don't know who is going to reply to that. You don't know how the other person's character is going to act to your own movements, to your own actions. So in that part, I think that role-playing, for example, in forums, also in Tumblr, because I have only role-played in forums and Tumblr. So I think that role-playing, for example, in forums and Tumblr, and opening an open topic for other people to reply to, it helps a lot to just go on the way. So it's like, okay, I read that my character is going to the pool, and then the other one says, no, hey, come here, and you have to follow that thing. You have to follow the other person's reply. So in that aspect, I think that it really helps you to improvise. So maybe you have an idea, but then the other person has another idea and you like better that idea, so you can do that ideas. It's really good. Role plays, I think that they are really good to improve as a writer and to improve your skills in order to improvise in the story, within the story. So you know that, for example, your character is going to get married one day, but before that, that character has like 2-3 relationships, and you don't know which one of those characters, these 2 or 3 characters, are going to be the one for your character. So it's really improvising when it comes to roleplay. And about role players, I think that role players, you have to know them, you have to talk with them off character. That's very important. You have to know what they would like to do also. For example, in forums you have the chat room and you can talk, some of them, I don't know, most of them they use the chat room as still being part of the role playing, but most of them is like talking in user form. So you talk with the other person in behind the character and you get to know them, you get to know what they want to do with their characters. You can talk about possible plots with their characters and all that. And in, for example, in Tumblr you can talk with them via ask. So you say off or at the beginning, so you say that it's not the character talking, it's not the character who sends an ask to the other character, but it's the user, and then you can reply privately and you can talk about possible plots. You can exchange, for example, Skypes or other social net profiles or social usernames, and you can exchange, for example, you know, your Facebook username or your Twitter username, and you can tag there while you use Tumblr only to roleplay. And I think that with roleplays you have to really get to know them, because sometimes you're roleplaying with someone, you have a story with the other character, but then that person, without consulting you, decides to do something that affects your own character, and you can get in trouble with that. It happened to me. I was roleplaying with a girl. She had the boyfriend of one of my characters and she decided to do something that really affected my character. I didn't know anything about it and it really pissed me off. So talk with the role players. Just say, get to know them, get to know what they would like to do with their characters. What else? It's basically that for me, from my experience, role plays and role players are, I think, in a place that they need time. So you need time to develop your own character, to find your place in a role play. If you are new, don't worry, because not all of them talk to you, so just a few. Give time, because people will eventually start talking with your character. They will start interacting with your own character. And when it comes to role players, get to know them, get to know what they would like to do with their characters. It's also time talking, and talking is basically, yeah. Because if you don't talk nowadays, you cannot get done many things. And my experience from role plays, for me, they served me a lot to improve as a writer. As I was writing when I was 16, and for example, in 3 chapters I would have done all the idea that I had planned in my head, and now I can spend like 30 chapters talking about that idea. So it has helped me to just like descriptions, make things longer, know where to put things and all that, and also to keep the reader just hooked in the story. And I think that comes from role playing, basically, because when I started role-playing, my roleplays were like 3 lines long. Now I can do a 500-word roleplay and post on all that. Though I don't roleplay anymore because of work and uni, I have to say that. But if I can, if someday I have time now, maybe I would go back. But for example, now in the Spanish community in Tumblr of roleplays, things are not that good. I had a roleplay. I was the administrator, administrator, I think is the full word. I was the admin of a roleplay that has been open for a year. It's closed now. We closed it last October, but it's dedication. For me, role-playing is dedication to your character, dedication to, for example, if you are running a roleplay, dedication to the people that joined your story, because you created that story and you needed the characters, and those people gave you those characters, so you have to dedicate yourself to them. Also make sure that they are comfortable, make sure that you listen to them. If they want an activity, do that activity. Always try to come up with new things. And as a role player, and this is the most, probably the most important part of the thing of role playing, you as a role player are the one that keeps the role play alive, to say so. You are the one that has a character. A role play would be nothing without character, so it's really important to dedicate to your character. Make sure that you feel comfortable with him or her. If you don't feel comfortable with that character, just change, create a new one, explore or change something in their story. That doesn't matter. The important thing is dedication in role plays. Even if you are running a role play, if you like a role playing scene, because that comes from the work behind us and from an admin. Admins put a lot of their time in that role play, so it's dedication. They give you dedication, but they also want to receive something back, and that something back is you as a role player. You have to give the admins back your roles. So you have a character, okay, I'm gonna talk with this character, that other character, we can make a plot together and add some drama, add a pregnancy, add a wedding, something. Just come up with ideas, but you always have to keep the story alive. That's the most important thing. Cons, because there are some cons. It's that someone can be really mean, and the bar, for example, when you don't talk to the other, when you don't talk to the person that is behind one character, so that's what to happen to me. You have, it can get bad, so you can avoid that by talking to people, and it's time consuming. So if you don't have time, that is why what I have quit role playing. It's that I don't have time. I work as a teacher, I am finishing my degree in English, I am trying to write my first novel, so I don't have time to role play, and I had to just eliminate things in my life that would allow me to do the things that I think that are more important now. And it's time consuming. I think it's one of the biggest cons of role playing and role plays. It's time consuming. You dedicate a lot of hours to it. So yes, that's my opinion on role playing. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments below. You can send me an ask on my Tumblr as this Anon did. And if I haven't explained a lot about it, I can try to write a post, think more about it. It's like I've just answered the ask, so it's like very spontaneous, but yes, I don't know what else to say. Summing up, it improves a lot your writing if you want to be a writer. It's time consuming. What else? Talking to people, you need to talk to all the people behind the character. It's not just only a character, there is a human being beside that character, beside that mask of a character. So make sure that you talk to them, you know what they want to do with the characters, don't do anything that might affect the characters with your characters, so that's really important. And if you want to do it, just do it, it's fun. If you have free time, do it, because it's a great experience. I don't regret my 6 years as a role player, so do it if you want also, and if you have time.